Welcome to OOTO, the out-of-the-office investigation into strategic technology. This time we're discussing Zero Tactical Electric Motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations.
It's great to be here.
I am really excited for this one because we're looking at how a relatively simple piece of tech, an electric drivetrain, is just completely redefining tactical mobility.
It is. It's a huge shift. We're seeing it move from something you'd see on a bike trail right into the most high-stakes military and intelligence operations.
Right. Historically, if you wanted high mobility, you had to accept this massive acoustic signature, and a thermal one, too.
Exactly. A huge heat bloom. Electric propulsion just erases those. It fundamentally changes the rules of engagement. I mean, this technology, the Zero Tactical Electric Motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations, it forces adversaries to completely rethink how they detect threats.
And that's really the core of our mission today, isn't it?
It is. Understanding Zero Tactical Electric Motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations improves strategic intelligence and tactical advantage.
So we're going to get into the engineering, the actual applications for things like recon and direct action. And maybe most importantly, we have to look at the logistical trade-offs.
The trade-offs are key, because with this level of stealth, there are always compromises.
It's an era where sound and heat are your biggest enemies, and electricity is, it's the ultimate silent weapon.
It is. So let's start with the technology itself, because that's the real game changer. The shift is just in the basic physics of it all.
Okay, so let's get right to it. What are key elements for Zero Tactical Electric Motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations? I mean, what did Zero get so right that it sparked this revolution?
It's the total elimination of what you'd call the classic engine signature. These bikes are, and this is quote, totally quiet when on.
Totally quiet.
Yeah. And zero exhaust, zero smell. Personnel can move virtually undetected. Think about the sound difference. A standard combat dirt bike is about 113 decibels. That is deafening.
Right. You can hear that from miles away.
The MMX, the military spec bike, is cited at 55 decibels.
55. Wait, that's like a quiet refrigerator hum.
It's just background noise. You could be whispering right next to it, and depending on the environment, you wouldn't be heard.
That's incredible. But I have to imagine the thermal signature is where it really shines, right?
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
An internal combustion engine, I mean, it can literally glow to infrared cameras. They're just massive heat sources.
This huge beacon.
Right. An electric motor just runs so much cooler. That minimal thermal signature is absolutely critical for avoiding modern thermal optics. It makes it incredibly difficult for an enemy force to spot a hidden unit.
And that right there is why electric motorcycle provides strategic intelligence and tactical advantage. It's a physical reality that gas engines just can't compete with.
And we can see how the platform evolved to get here. The first versions, like the Zero X, were basically just trail bikes. Really light, 140-pound bike on an 18-pound aluminum frame.
The starting point.
A proving ground, exactly. It had a 20-horsepower motor. But the MMX, that's a whole different beast. It's a dedicated tactical machine.
So what's under the hood, so to speak?
It's built on their MX platform with the Z-Force powertrain. It gets you 54 horsepower and 68 foot-pounds of torque. So it's fast. Top speed is around 85 miles per hour.
So you're getting true high-speed mobility, but you're coupling it with near-total stealth.
And what's maybe just as fascinating for the operator in the field is the maintenance simplicity. It's a direct drive, air-cooled motor. There's no transmission, no powertrain fluids, no gas.
Wow.
The sources say the only maintenance is pretty much changing the tires and lubricating the chain.
So you can forget about flooding carbs or failed spark plugs or trying to kickstart a bike when you're under stress.
All of that is gone. That mechanical simplicity means reliability in the field, which is everything.
You're listening to OOTO with research by author Paul Bulow.
Then there's the battery system. It's engineered specifically to solve the biggest problem with electric vehicles, that long charge time.
Right, the Achilles heel.
The MMX uses 2 modular power packs. They're quick swappable 3.6 kilowatt lithium-ion batteries.
And how quick is quick swappable?
Under 60 seconds, with no tools.
New tools. That's actually faster than refueling a gas tank.
It is. It mitigates one of the biggest logistical headaches of using electric vehicles in a combat zone. You just pop one out, slide a fresh one in, and you're gone.
What about charging, though, if you don't have a spare?
They've thought about that, too. You can use a standard outlet, of course, but they also use the Chadademo fast charging standard. With an accessory, you can cut the charge time down to about an hour.
An hour. That's manageable, assuming you have the infrastructure.
Assuming you do, yes, that's the trade-off. But that focus on rapid turnaround is why this platform is being adopted so quickly.
So let's connect that to the real world. Let's talk about the application. How can Zero tactical electric motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations affect our strategic intelligence and tactical advantage?
Well, the adoption is happening at the highest levels. U.S. Special Operations Command, SOCOM, they're the ones who selected Zero to develop the MMX.
So this came from a direct operational need.
A direct need. And now, Marine recon units like Bravo Company, First Recon, they're testing them rigorously. They see it as filling a critical capability gap.
A capability gap. We hear that term a lot. What does it mean here?
It's that space where heavy armored vehicles can't go, especially in places like the Pacific with dense jungle canopies. And drones can't see through that canopy either, not visually or with thermal. The MMX gives mobility teams a way to penetrate that terrain silently.
So what kind of missions are they actually using them for?
The Marines are focusing on three main sets. First is reconnaissance, just unmatched self-insertion. You can get forward observers, snipers, JTACs.
The guys who call in airstrikes.
Exactly. Joint terminal attack controllers. They can move silently into position, designate a target up to 6 miles away for a laser-guided bomb, and then just silently exfiltrate.
Yeah.
No one ever knew they were there.
And the second mission?
Screening. You use the bikes as an early warning force out on the flanks of a main body of troops. Their job is to discreetly spot threats, like an anti-tank missile team, and send a warning back without ever firing a shot or making a sound.
And the third?
Direct action raids. And we've seen this proven in Ukraine with similar electric bikes. They're strapping lightweight anti-tank missiles like an NLAW or a Javelin right onto the bikes.
That's incredible, a motorcycle taking out a tank.
It's the perfect example of an asymmetric advantage built on pure simplicity. A fast, silent, almost disposable platform that can punch way above its weight.
Okay, that is the 90% enthusiasm side.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the logistical reality, the 10% contrary view. What are the trade-offs?
And they're significant. First, range. The max advertised range is 90 miles, which sounds great. But the Marines found that in really harsh off-road terrain, you can drain a battery in as little as 20 minutes.
20 minutes, that's a huge
Yeah.
operational limitation.
It's a staggering difference. Then there's the weight. The energy density of batteries versus fuel is just brutal. Batteries are much heavier for the same amount of power.
So less gear, less ammo, less water.
Exactly. The bike itself is 275 pounds. The payload is about 350, but that includes a fully kitted out operator, so every pound the battery weighs is a pound of gear you can't carry.
And the recharging issue, that seems like the biggest vulnerability.
It is. It takes so much longer than refueling, and during that time, as the sources say, you're a sitting duck. You can use solar panels, but that depends on daylight, good weather, and it forces you to be out in the open, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of stealth.
And the Marines found other flaws too, right, in the early tests?
They did. Things like an all-or-nothing torque control, which is tricky, inadequate front suspension for heavy combat loads, and a big one, the LED display shuts off when you turn on the stealth lights.
So you can't see your battery level on a night mission.
Exactly. You're flying a blind on your most critical resource. But, despite those drawbacks, the core stealth advantage is so powerful that strategic intelligence and tactical advantage aligns electric motorcycle to a healthy environment for both strategic and tactical success.
That brings us to the human element. Beyond just the mechanics, can Zero tactical electric motorcycle, silent, odorless, stealth for military, police, and intelligence operations improve our mental health while supporting physical optimum performance?
I think you can definitely make that case. The ability to move silently, to know you're avoiding detection, that has to reduce acute combat stress. You're maintaining the element of surprise. The mental load of worrying about being heard or seen by thermal optics just decreases.
And that operational simplicity we talked about must be a huge stress reliever too.
Oh, for sure. No clutch, no Kickstarter, no gears to mess with under pressure. It makes the bikes easier for a novice to just get on and operate effectively. You're not fighting the machine.
So it lowers the training burden and reduces mechanical frustration on a long mission.
But on the other hand, there's a counterpoint. Operating the MMX requires intense focus, especially with a 50-pound combat load on your back. The controls are so sensitive that leaning just a few degrees can send you in a whole new direction.
So that could potentially increase the mental load, offsetting some of the benefits of stealth.
It could. It's a different kind of physical and mental exertion.
It seems like they've started to solve the integration and charging problems, though.
They have. They're testing the MMX alongside ultralight tactical vehicles, like the Polaris MRZR Alpha. The ULTVs act as a mothership, a mobile charging and supply node.
So the bikes go out, scout, and then return to the vehicle for a new battery or a quick charge.
Exactly. They have custom mounting brackets on the ULTVs. It's a complete system. And the final proof point is the air transport validation.
This is huge for rapid deployment, right?
Absolutely. The bike is light enough to be carried by CH-53s, Chinooks, even the MV-22 Osprey. They've even successfully airdropped them from a C-130 Hercules. That means you can get these anywhere in the world fast.
That seamless integration is really what confirms that strategic intelligence and tactical advantage aligns electric motorcycle to a healthy environment for both strategic and tactical success.
It does. And it also highlights the dual use potential. We're seeing the LAPD use the MMX to patrol big mountainous parks.
I can see that. Places where noise is an issue.
Exactly. Or areas with exposed gas lines where you want a quiet off-road vehicle that won't create a spark. It's the perfect blend of tactical capability and civilian utility.
You're listening to OOTO with research by author Paul Bulow.
So as we bring this all together, it's pretty clear.
It is. I mean, the core concept of the Zero Tactical Electric Motorcycle can be linked to an overall strategic intelligence and tactical advantage. It's that unparalleled stealth acoustic and thermal, plus the instant power and the simple maintenance.
And we've seen how that technology solves that very modern problem, that capability gap. Where heavy armor gets stuck and drones are blind, the MMX provides that silent, agile penetration.
It's just essential for forward reconnaissance and light combat doctrine today.
It really is a phenomenal example of how sometimes innovation moves backward in a way, from gas-fueled complexity back to electric simplicity, all to gain a tactical edge.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to sort of chew on.
Yeah, considering the huge effort DARPA put into that complex hybrid Silent Hawk motorcycle, which had two different power sources, and then you compare it to the simplicity of the all-electric MMX, which is the one that's actually become operational.
Right.
How much of the future of tactical mobility relies not on adding more complexity, but on maximizing the purity of a single, well-executed power source?
A truly provocative thought to end on. A fantastic investigation into this strategic technology.
My pleasure. And we just encourage everyone to keep thinking about these fascinating trade-offs between stealth and logistics in any high-stakes scenario.
We'll catch you next time for more OOTO.